for educational purposes. And the educational purposes showing that just because you see it on YouTube, just because you see it there, doesn't mean they know what they're doing. And don't follow their advice. You've really got to know what you're doing. For you guys think you're going to work on a brake or something like that, specifically these are brakes. This guy calls himself ChrisFIx. He's kind of fun to watch, just to, you just watch people because, you're kind of fun to watch. But in this case, this guy is so far off the mark and so full of it. These brake shoes, and I froze it at this frame, have never been used. As you can see, this wear is got these ridges in it still. They're not wearing. These little nodules you see, these would be the contact points over here too. This is probably just prying off, but this is what it would look like if they were contact. They would be shiny and things like that, and you wouldn't see these nodules. Now you say, well, maybe maybe the brakes are just been put on. Well, fair enough. Let's go back to the beginning of his video, and you'll see that this guy claims that, and we'll start it.
Hey guys, ChrisFIx here. Today we're working on a Honda Accord 2008. We're doing a rear brake job.
Okay, so this is the left driver's side, the rear brake job. He's saying you can see these little you can see the grooves in this rotor.
On all the brakes, but we're on the rear right now, changing out the brake pads and rotors. And I want to show you something. Very helpful tip. So right now we have.
So he's going to claim that you see these pads the way they are, the direction. That's the way they should be, and the little clamps and all.
The caliper part.
As you look in the back of this, you try to see what contact points that they have also, if any at all, where this caliper keeps having contact with it through the many, many thousands of miles, I'm sure.
And we have two brake pads out, and you can see they sandwich just like this.
Okay, so now let's look. I'm going to stop it. Okay, good. Now you see this pad is the one that was on the outside here, and it's got some wear on it. This is at least what you should see on the other one, but notice the edges. This is being used. Notice the edges here, how they don't have any nodules or rust on them. They're just very clean. And here we go.
Brake pads, you can see something's wrong. The top brake pad, which is the inside brake pad, is worn out completely.
And you see how shiny it is, but this one's not totally worn out completely. We have some here, and this leading edge is worn down.
Actually, it's worn out down to the backing plate, which was causing a loud squeak.
But let's stop here and look right here. See how that's shiny? That's a pad that's being used.
Squeaking noise, which is why we have.
Right there. That's the pad that's being used. The previous, as I showed you, the pad's not being used.
Had to change the brakes. But you can also see.
And again, here it is here. This pad's being contacted. And you can see there's no rust on it, things like that.
There's pad material here, but there's.
So more than likely, this vehicle has something else going on, and not what this ChrisFIx thinks is wrong with it.
No pad material here. So it's wearing unevenly. Now the other side is wearing evenly. You can see here the pad material is pretty.
And as you notice, this has none of those nodules, those steel nodules I showed you, rust.
It's actually not.
And you see the wear on it.
Worn out that much. It's rear brakes, so they don't get used as much. But we have a problem here where it's worn out inconsistently. There's more wear on this side than this side. And also, the brake pads themselves, there's more wear on the inside than the outside. This thing's worn down all the way, and this has plenty of meat left. Now, that problem could be caused by a few things. One, your caliper could be shot. A lot of times, the caliper piston here will push unevenly on the brake pad. So when this is sitting in here, it might push on the top.
Now he shows the pad in the wrong position. This was supposed to be the other way. This is the leading edge as this rotates down the road. Going forward, of course, in the car's direction. In the forward direction, it would be the leading edge here. So he's showing it upside down. This guy's just making a video and just giving out just basically shit information.
The brake pad more, which gives you that uneven wear, so the bottom has less wear, the top has more wear. Usually if a brake caliper is going bad, you'll notice that there's a leak somewhere around here, and you'll see brake fluid.
Let's move on. Let's move a little faster.
Visually. So I really don't think it's the brake caliper. But what I do think...
You heard him, he does not think it's the brake caliper.
The problem are these caliper guide pins. The bottom caliper guide pin moves nice and easy. It's all greased up, it's nice and smooth.
Let's stop, and now he thinks this guide pin would be the one. Disregarding the fact that as we move on,
Okay. If
Let's move on. Okay, I
one of
guess I
these
can
is seized
scroll.
up and rubber over time. Petroleum base.
It's just,
You see there's no grooves. So
let's move forward.
might have to get a hammer.
Let's move forward again.
Use some brake cleaner.
He's cleaning off
Completely clean.
these pins because that's what his
and this is actually a good opportunity
theory
to
is,
show
that
you
these
a bad
pins
guide
are
pin that
bad.
you're going to have to replace.
And this is what he thinks is his theory. His theory is that the pins are bad. So here we go. Let's get on video.
Plus, you can see all the corrosion on here.
So we'll move forward.
And right here, we're just going to push that.
Let's move forward again. Sorry about that. I'm trying to hurry.
Now, and that's good. And there we go. Greasing up the guide pins and the importance of caliper guide pins is something that's overlooked in many brake systems. When you're doing a brake job, you're thinking brake pads, brake rotors, but you don't really think about the importance of the caliper guide pins. And as you saw, they make a big difference. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. The top tip for this video.
Okay, so this is now going to be the passenger side, but and you can see he's got a brand new rotor on here. Yet he's going to show his brakes in just a moment to show the rotor is in a great condition. The brake pads are in great condition. Why are you replacing the rotor if those brake pads have never even been used? So he's throwing a hammer at everything. He's just wild, whatever this is, or the video's just full of shit, let me put it that way.
I'm going to show you what the passenger side looks like.
Here's the passenger side. Let's stop there again. These brake pads are not even used. You see this nodule here? All this stuff wouldn't be here. It's how clean that line is, the distance. This is all factory stuff. And it's amazing. Now here we go. Remember how shiny the other pad was? When he opens this up, you're going to see it not shiny. Therefore, the pads are not coming in contact or have come in contact with any rotors.
Passenger side brakes, you can see they're worn completely evenly, which is good.
And this is where he's talking shit. Worn completely evenly. They're not worn completely evenly. They've never been worn. Look at them. That's factory. See those ridges? Remember how shiny they really get when they get polished, boy, when you're slamming on those brakes. So this is not a brake pad issue here. It's going to be, and it's not a rotor issue because rotors, they're not even engaging. So he's totally off the planet. And you can see this nodule higher than there and all these nodules, and it's not shiny.
It means our guide pins are working correctly and our caliper is working correctly.
And yet he said just then, he claimed the caliper's working correctly.
What it's supposed to look like. So here's one of the guide pins. I just want to show you. This is without me greasing it. This is factory. This is how it was. This is the kind of rebound you're going to have. So even though this is working, you still want to grease these because as you see, there is movement.
See, he's just talking trash now because that's not the problem in his car. They're not even engaging. The brake pads are not even engaging. So there's something else going wrong with this vehicle.
And you can see after we grease it up, look at that. A lot of play, a lot of movement. You can turn this side to side. So even though these were still good, we cleaned them off, greased them up.
And I had to do this video because this was just irritating the hell out of me.
Back brake pad here.
Watching this bad information go out. Oh gosh, I don't even know how to cancel that. Let's see. I never want to see anything from that junk again. And so this is another mechanic on here that went out of his way to say something. I said something and I scrolled down and I saw his comments. And I said, piston ring? I'm like, really? So let me go ahead and delete my comment there. And we'll scroll down to this comment down here. This guy's, he says he's done tons of this main auto guy. Small town. Anyway, this ChrisFIx argues against his point about ChrisFIx. Yeah, he's saying it can happen, and there he is again. He just keeps trying to justify this screwy video, and it's screwy as here are my comments. Let's look at the replies. My comments are, and then I'll wrap this up. Where are you? Where are you? Okay. Yeah, right here. 14 replies. Sorry. Here it is. So ChrisFIx, right here. Yes, I've seen it a bunch of times, and I just have a few comments from people who have had that problem. So he's saying he's seen it a bunch of times. There's some piston going south, sideways. And I disagree with the other guy's statement, but here's mine. If you go to 14 and 15 seconds, shows the pad as it really is and not an example flipped around. Also said the wear is a show on the leading edge of the brake pads. Okay. Moving on, I totally agree with you. This tilting piston thing is just ludicrous with that. With this whole, now that I've seen the entire thing, is just ludicrous. That's not the problem. I tried to see it his way, but couldn't, right? 121 in his video, he flips it around. Okay. And he's not focusing on the uneven brake wear. 634, the pads are not shown worn. Even they have not been used. And they have not been used, right? Finally, 628 shows an installed new rotors, yet the brakes were supposed to be working fine in great wear. Of course, he is holding out. 634 shows no wear of the pads, side brakes, which again indicates that ChrisFIx needs to turn a job like this over to you. His troubleshooting skills are lacking on this. So let's go to 634 real quick.
It's good. That means our guide pins are...
So let's back it up. Let's see, 634. Let's see if I can get it to back up. Right there. You saw it. Right there. 634, 635. No wear. And this is what they would look like with wear. Let's do that, and I'll wrap this up for you guys. Let me see if I can scroll forward and press play.
Is worn out completely.
And there we go.
Worn out down to the backing plate.
And look at the bottom one to be fair.
Squeaking noise, which is...
Well, you can look at that one. I don't care. You can look at this one. But you see again.
But you can also...
You can see again how they're supposed to look. All right. Wish you guys all success, of course. And you know, just because it's in a video, just because we put it on a video, doesn't mean it's true. Use a little logic, common sense, and it's a damn shame that, you know, that this guy's giving brake advice.